Everybody watch the pixels blend.
The next functionality that we are looking into is the INPAINTING functionality, and we are again starting with SDXL for this. INPAINTING is basically just an image-to-image workflow where you define with a mask the area that will be changed. And the crucial value for this again is the denoise value. So here again, 35% of your input image or the area of that input image will be changed. If your workflow looks like this, then you are good to generate your first image, and you will see what this does.
GPU. Going.
So basically you can now see this person is changed to a more photorealistic one, but the model is not the very best. As you can see here, we now have the problem with an additional finger, and the eye to me is not very clear. And these are the limits of SDXL per default. But at least if you have a look at the input image over here, you can see this from a 3D rendered person, the result is still a little bit better than it was before. So luckily there are some options that we can use for this, and for example one of the main things that I always do is have a look if there, for example, is a dedicated INPAINTING model for this model over here. I have downloaded it, and I can select it by doing this. And when I then hit generate, it should be a different outcome.
Render frames now. Render frames now. Render frames now. Going. Design dreams.
So comparing these both outputs, this is much better than it was before already. It's not perfect. If you have a look very close to the details, then there is still some space to improve that. And remember to explore the possibilities and limits of this model. For example, you change the seat and the steps, the CFG, again, the resolution, crucial. And of course, you put in your images with your prompts over here, and then happy exploring with this workflow. In the meantime, we are having a look into the same functionality, but for the Flux model. Just open this workflow. It should look like you see here. And if everything is prepared, then you are good to hit your first generation.
Render frames now. Going. Design dreams and visions clear. Build it tall, skyscrape desire, bytes and bits.
And Flux by default does a very good job for this. As you can see here, this person now looks very realistic. And if you, for example, change the seat and try another run for this, you will get a different person.
Ignite the fire, from code to vision, towers rise. In tech we trust, the dream applies. Virtual walls with perfect lines, GPU hums, art redefined, blueprint falls in megabytes, infinite possibilities.
So this guy also looks very good to me. It's still not perfect. Just look at the eyes, for example, but comparing it to the original input over here and waiting just some seconds, as you can see here, or a little over a minute to have a photorealistic person in an image. To me, this is very useful already, but please be aware that I'm using a high-end computer on my side. And using this on slower machines, of course, will take longer time. To explore the limits of this, it's a good idea to increase the denoise value to a higher setting and then hit generate again. So if you have a look at this, for example, now you see some failures where, for example, here the head is cut off. You notice some kind of the masking that happened here is not good generated. And what this model and general in InPainting will always do, it will always try to use the color information existing in the input image. So you will have a hard time trying to prompt, for example, someone with the blue jeans. But luckily, with the release of the Flux tools, there's another option for this, and this is the fill model from the Flux tools. By opening this and set up the workflow like it's setting up here, you should be able to generate something entirely different from what you've put it in here.
In virtual sites, textures form, landscapes alive, in digital realm, creativity thrive with the touch of a button. Seat grows sway in the pixel paradise where dreams come to play. From closed division, towers rise, in tech you trust, the dreams hide.
So basically, this is what I prompted over here. To me, this looks already very good. And again, the crucial value, please remember, is in this case set to 85% of the image is changed. And in this case, for example, the guidance of for the Flux fill model is set to 30. If you do this to a default Flux model, then you will probably get a much lower quality image out of it. So happy exploring with this one.
Sculpting world.